are rolling. We got Thomas Adams today on Real Talk with Real Deal here at Willies at Akins. Thomas is the longest tenured employee of Wild Willies. Been here longer than anybody. Thomas, what's up, dude?
Oh, good. Doing real good.
Should have had him on here a long time ago already, but finally got him on here. So it's going to be a great day, a lot to talk about. So stay tuned for everything auto from us. Thomas, thanks for sitting down with me. Tell us a little bit about your history in general here at Akins and Wild Willies.
Started 2001, I believe. Yes, 2001 in the wholesale parts department. Worked my way up to retail. Dabbled in accessories, not like it is now, but just, mainly Ford factory accessories on vehicles we had, whatnot. And then I left, 2006 or 7? Stayed in the automotive industry doing wheel repair franchises all over the country. And then came back for my second stint, which was 2011 to 2018, and started back in the parts department. Then we had just acquired Akins. Brad Akins just acquired Wild Willies, and got involved with that because I've never had a stock vehicle. I mean, I've always done accessories, always pushed accessories. It's just fun, and that was just my cup of tea. Getting in here, doing parts, dabbling in accessories, then it become more of an accessory thing. Helping out when Jim Jordan was here, we only had 2 technicians at that time. Actually 1, then 2, and it just blew up, and I stayed here till 2018 and decided to take a break from automotive for about 3.5 years. And then I came back this year in March. Brad gave me a call and said, "Hey, you ready to go again?" I said, "Yes, sir." And it's the best thing I could have ever done was take a break from automotive because I've been in it my whole life since I was 16 years old. And but taking that break was by far, sometimes you just got to take yourself out of an equation, look at other things, and then realize how you can do different in a more positive atmosphere and just jump on it and roll.
Yeah.
It's been the best thing I've ever done.
No doubt. Yeah, so a lot of people that knew you when you were here before to now say, like, man, Thomas is rejuvenized. He's just like he's a brand new man, just got a whole nother level of energy going along with him. But I think a lot of that partly is too of the momentum we've created with these disc around. So you really were battling back in the day when you were, pulling your own parts. Tell us, you were.
So the day-to-day was mainly, so it was me, Jim, mainly, and then we would have, I think it was Corey White.
Corey White.
A very successful commercial salesman now. I
taught
him.
Loves custom.
Oh, he loves custom. Yeah, big time. Everything he has is custom.
Yeah.
Including his house. But no, and I trained him along with accessories. And back then, we would actually answer phones, order our own parts, receive our own parts, stock our own parts, schedule all of our appointments, and bill our own labor, our labor times, coordinate with the shop. So we were, selling, receiving, ordering, being the shop foreman, and then dealing with customers in between all that. There was a lot of long days, but now it's a whole nother beast.
Yeah.
It's when you can do what we do day to day with this kind of volume, we would never have done what we're doing now back then, doing what we had to do ourselves.
Right. And I guess, so the dealership back then too was still just stellar. It was killing it back then too, as far as just the Akins sales.
Oh, the volume the pure volume that comes through here ever since 2001 when I first started. Just, and I've been at other dealerships, not working at other dealerships. Well, I did work at Stone Mountain Ford for a short stint when it was on Memorial Drive, old Stone Mountain Ford. And I worked at Cary Paul Honda for a short stint. Nothing compared to this. The volume, the amount of people. Most of our guys here now in Wild Willies usually write 100 plus ROs a month. That's vehicles they physically touch.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy. So you've really seen the infancy stages of Wild Willies. It was obviously a standalone accessory store before Brad purchased it, but once it came here, you were here in the infancy stage. You were like laying the foundation of trying just for it to grab hold and sustain and be good, because the sales staff and the Akins was doing phenomenal as far as the selling, but the accessory part was it was new. It was trying just to get everything acclimated and rolling with it. So you were going through all those growing pains of trying to do that. So now you're here on the flip side. We're still growing. I mean, we're still growing. We're still have ways we can improve, things that we need to keep expanding and keep up with the momentum that we got. But it's cool to me knowing that you're the OG dude. You're the OG Wild Willies. You were here then. You're here now, and so I'm just proud that you are here and here with us and doing a great job.
If you ever get a chance, have you ever looked on our website?
Yeah.
Have you seen my picture?
Yes, I have.
The real OG.
That's right. That's it, dude.
But it's the structure.
Yeah.
Is by far probably the greatest accomplishment with this accessories. Back then we didn't have much structure. We didn't have a shop manager. We didn't have a shop, somebody to lead the techs on their day-to-day.
Right.
We didn't have a parts department. We utilized a factory for parts department. We had our own little separate building. And, now that we have a person like Jonathan and Mike that can inventory these parts, make sure that we are covered, the guys in the shop are covered, parts are pulled, ordered, it's in having a shop foreman like Bud to run the thing. It's a well-built machine.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen it when we didn't have those guys doing that. It was a struggle then, and it wasn't nowhere near the struggle that you had the first go around. But I saw it when we didn't have a shop manager and the parts people for that, because it was stressful, man. You were worrying about were the parts ordered, are they going to get here on time? You were worried about the shop. Is it what are the guys doing? Are they efficient in what they're doing? Like, you were worried, I was worried about all that stuff, and then trying to worry about what we were supposed to be worried about or taking care of day to day. So having those guys, it's truly a team effort, but having those guys in place and they're doing a good job with it is huge.
Oh yeah. I do not miss a night somebody has to lay in bed and think about, did I order that part?
Yes.
Is the guy coming in? Is a technician know he's going to do this tomorrow? It's, those days are over.
Yeah.
The structure we have now, it flows a lot better. Do we have growing pains? Oh yeah, of course. The volume of this place is just sheer. It's unspeakable.
Yep.
But for it to be like it is a complete 100% better operation than it was in the beginning. It was like controlled chaos.
Yeah. Yes. So I mean I've learned that in business, that it's just good to have the right people in the right places, and I think that's what Mr. Brad Akins, he's great about that. He's great about seeing what the needs are and putting the right people instrumentally in those places to maximize, because one person can't do it all. I mean, it takes a team. We got a big team. We got over 340 people here total, and
I think it's over 360 now.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people here.
A lot of people,
and the Wild Willies team's growing too, and we gonna need more help. Thomas already needs help, y'all. So, Thomas, I want you to tell him what your day-to-day is, but essentially, he was doing what I was doing when I was first hired on here, and I quickly became overwhelmed with how much, and Thomas is going through that right now. He's wide open he's bell to bell wide open. I mean, Thomas is running the whole time. So just, I guess, tell him now so you went from more of a counter guy, do-all type guy, to now you're over here on the sales side with me pretty much. Tell us about what your day-to-day is now in comparison.
Wide open. I mean, from start to finish, I get here and hit the ground running. That's why I wear Hokas every day. I typically average 7.6 to 8.3 miles walking.
You got them on today?
No. It was raining this morning, so I wore my
yeah, rain today.
Exactly. But no, there's a lot of small, quick things that need to get done. Bed liners, your quick stuff. The salesman just want to drop it off and let you handle it. They can get on to the next customer. That's a lot of what I do, including the custom builds, waiting on trucks to get here. Gosh, the whole ordering thing. Been in this business for 28 years and have never seen it like this before.
Yeah.
Where we actually have to sit and wait on trucks. It's kind of funny because you sit here and you're busy, constantly running, doing the small stuff, the bed covers, the step bars to get everybody in and out, gone quickly, scheduling bed liners, coordinate with the guys at the shop, and then the salesman on delivery times. And, I'll go physically find the vehicle, move it. I'll put it in cleanup form. I'll put it on the board, put in the sold line, put the keys on the desk. And all they got to do is hand the keys over and, and go over the vehicle with the customer. I'll make it as easy as possible as I can and I'll do it with every salesman, with everybody. Because if it makes it easier for them, then they're more likely to come back and say, hey, let's do this again. Instead of them having to run around and look for stuff or find the vehicle or, hey, what's the status on this? I keep them updated the best I can and make sure that they don't have to touch the vehicle. Once they give it to me, I say, just give me the due bill and the keys. Let me take care of it, and I'll get it back to you. And I'll give them time when I do, and I will. I'll deliver. Just trying to bridge that gap between accessories and sales to make it more convenient for the salesman so they're not having to worry about anything else. That's my biggest role.
Yep. So, and I don't think I spent much or any time coaching you on that, but you quickly picked up on that because you're an intelligent guy. But I've been in sales as far as in the car business for 9 years, selling or managing or in finance. So I know what they're thinking when the sales. This is a generalization, y'all. I know what salespeople in the automotive industry are thinking when have a customer that early in the process or whatever mentions accessories. A salesperson thinks, "What? Oh no, this is another variable that could throw a wrinkle in me getting a good survey or delaying me getting to the next sale, or it's just another thing that can go wrong." So typically, salespeople don't like to deal with accessories, even though there's a great incentive here to help make sure that our customers are accessorizing their vehicle. But it's still just another wrinkle. So the fact that you caught that early and are doing that is great because that just ensures that we get more buy-in from the sales staff and they can see that and jump on our vision of what we're trying to do and achieve here. And it is a great opportunity for additional sales for the dealership. And it's also a great opportunity for that uniqueness that we bring the customers by. They remember the purchase, but if we make their purchase more memorable or more unique at the same time, then they're just more likely to come back. And that repeat business in the car industry and accessory business is a lost art. People don't want to do follow-ups. That's just not something that they enjoy doing necessarily. So we can automatically ensure that on our end they had a great experience as always on the sales side. And then after the fact, Thomas and the accessory team killed it with this, and this, and boom. Or while they're driving their vehicle 3 years down the road and using that bed cover, they're going to think, man, I got my truck from Akins and I got the bed cover at Akins and I'm using it here on vacation. It's keeping my stuff dry. It's a huge opportunity that we're harnessing like no other dealership in the country. And that's what fires me up. I know it does you too.
Oh yeah.
That we're just, we're offering added value by having Willies a part of Akins and the process that we got going right now. So y'all, Thomas, he talks to so many people day to day in and out because of how successful Akins is. He gets so many opportunities. And I guess once I was not able to talk to as many customers, I was like, man, we're missing huge opportunity because there's so many people that buy vehicles here. There's so many people that just come over to Willies that don't buy a vehicle here, but there's even more, I think, day to day that buy a vehicle that need to at least know what we got going on right here next door. So Thomas has been vital for that. Do you like not being on the counter? Do you like what you're doing now?
Oh yeah. I like moving around.
Yeah. I can tell.
I try to stay full energy all day long, but I just being able to move around, go visit customers in the salesman's office, talk with them there, and move things around and help, even something small like moving some cars on the lot for our mountain out front or moving some of our, showcase cars in and out, helping the salesman, with the customer, going over a car with the accessories and then moving on. And it's just, I like being able to move about.
Yeah, it's great.
I can't be stuck behind a counter. I have got to move. Mm-mm. And it's good for the customer. It's good for a relationship with the customers, with the salesman, being able to move about. Yeah,
absolutely. And, just the, being able to be free and roam as far as you're getting so much done in a day's time. You're not like, I got to stay right here and focus on this area. I know I got to go handle this, back to the desk, boom, boom. So it's a high impact day. It's a high energy day.
It's back to the convenience for the salesman.
Yeah.
If they don't have to get up and physically go somewhere to get an answer or something like that, if I can go to them just to save them that extra step so they can keep with their customer, it's all about the convenience thing.
Yep.
That's what I like.
And then having that guy, you couldn't just put. I've seen other dealerships try to do this. Try to have what you are and what we're trying to do. And if you don't have a passionate, knowledgeable person talking to the customers, you're not going to have a lot of success. And that kind of goes for anything. But you're knowledgeable and you're passionate about the accessory side of it and about just the communication aspect and dealing with the customers. You enjoy that, so that helps a lot, because it's just like when you go to finance, typically that finance manager is going to be able to explain that warranty better than the salesperson. You're definitely more qualified to explain the ways to customize the vehicle better than the salesperson. So you're a necessity here, but you're the right person. Is what made me so happy when you came back with us. Was you not only were you were qualified, you were more than qualified doing what you're doing, and it's been really good.
I appreciate it.
It's been a huge impact for us. So I guess, speaking of huge impact, was it a huge impact to go to SEMA this year for you? That was your first SEMA ever.
Yes. Nothing to compare it to, but just just how big it was.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that in a day and a half. You would need to spend 3 to 4 days. I mean, I walked, what did my steps say? I think I walked 27 miles on Wednesday.
Yeah.
In one day.
And you still feel like you missed something. You always still feel like, man, did I... or if you could walk it again, you'd see something else.
I ran through a couple of halls, just to kind of do a brief overview, but I know where I wanted to be. It was outside, and the West Hall was our main focal point. Yeah. But golly, at all the stuff there was just amazing. It's
sensory overload. It's just, you see so much stuff that's just bad and so much cool stuff.
And people say, well, what did you see? Everything.
Yeah.
Did you see anything new? Oh, yeah. And I had one gentleman who's ordered his Raptor and said, you seen any new wheels? I was like, I saw so many new wheels that are going by the first year. It's just going to be ridiculous.
Yes.
I mean, those guys and I did a few things like performance. Performance is coming. It's getting to be a big thing. You walk that hall.
I'm so thankful.
Huge.
Yeah, because with everybody, the regulations and the emissions and the EV push and all that, I'm so glad to see that just even on the EV side, performance is at the forefront.
Oh, yeah.
So everything, I like across the board, the industry is still pushing performance more so now than ever.
Oh, yeah. It's like my dad used to talk about their old muscle cars. So back in 2005, I ordered an SRT4, and it came here. I took my dad for a ride in that little turbo 4-cylinder. He couldn't believe how fast that car was. Now, this is, 17 years ago.
Yeah.
And now we have, little 4-cylinder cars making 300-plus horsepower and getting 20-something miles a gallon.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Technologies, the price has come along with it, obviously, y'all, but the technologies advanced so much, and those cars back in the day felt unsafe at that power at times.
Oh, gosh.
Now you feel so much more safe driving these fast vehicles because of the technology.
With the crash ratings like they are now, there's not a car back then that would have passed.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Your body would not take that.
Yeah.
But technology, yes, has come a long, long ways. And speaking of technology, these trucks, just to hit on one point that made a whole lot of sense when the Ford rep come by here the other day. I sat in a class. And I said, you know what, this will help me. He said, I think this will help you out. Made me open my eyes to something. So we have a 10-year, 100,000-mile drivetrain warranty, right? Awesome, across the board. Drivetrain, great. Let's talk about electronics. Have you just looked? It's like NASA invented this vehicle. These new vehicles, literally, the technology that's there is far beyond a lot of what we realize. Well, the warranty doesn't cover that.
Right.
And I was like, do what? So here we are talking about, we got this drivetrain warranty. Yes, it's great. But then you throw electronics into it, and when the breakdown, when you see the sheet of electronics, it's not a sheet, it's pages.
I know.
I was just
floored.
It opened my eyes to the technology in these cars, really. One old man the other day asked me, he says, this guy, real good customer, he says, I still ain't figured out my truck, and I've had it a year. I said, yes, sir. I said, we could probably sit down, but we'd have to have a lunch and a dinner and everything else to try to figure this out. But it was pretty funny just how it's just technology and altogether.
Yeah.
SEMA really opened my eyes to that too. I mean, it was great.
There's so many innovative things. There's so many great people in our industry that are pushing the envelope, have great minds that are coming up with very creative things that are just making our products better in general. That's great. And as far as warranties, I would highly consider, if I had a vehicle that had any amount of safety features or just in general warranties now, additional warranty coverage is almost a must.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, just if you're wanting to protect your investments and assets and equipment.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy how.
And it doesn't matter how long you keep the car.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that extra coverage that might not cover that certain chip.
Right.
I mean, you know, when I told the gentleman the other day that the taillight on his F-150 was over $2,200.
Can't comprehend
I
it.
thought the guy was going to pass out.
Can't comprehend it, man.
No.
It's like, man. But once you see the guts of it and explain to them what components are in there that are costly, it's just like, but still.
I told him, I said, it has a radar in it.
Yeah.
It's like, a radar? Yes, sir, yeah.
Man. SEMA last year was the first year they had their roped off or whole section for Overland. So that's coming fast. It's been coming, but in the past 2 years specifically, the major brands, accessory brands, are really jumping on it and pushing it hard. So, you know, you want to share what you saw about that? Do you see anything cool on the Overland style?
When I walked into the West Hall, you know, Truck Keyword was there, and they had, you know, their setup and everything, but everything was focal pointed right to Overland. I mean, everything. It was I was like a kid in a candy store, you know, because we'll get to that soon, but the overlanding part of it was, I mean, just like we talked earlier, there was a guy that had a booth that was selling I believe it was like some type of cleaner, you know, car cleaner or whatever.
Yeah.
And he had a Porsche sitting there that had a rooftop tint on it. I mean, just to get, you know, people to look.
Yeah, it definitely did that.
And it was everywhere. And, you know, in Broncos, you know, if anything reminds me of the past is when Jeep came out with a 4-door. That was huge.
Yes.
And I know that SEMA back then, it was just a monster with all these products.
Everywhere.
This reminds me, not to say I went to SEMA, but the product showcased in 2008 and 2009 following the 4-door reveal on the Jeep JK. Reminds me of that, but to another extreme.
Yes.
I mean, the accessories for the Bronco, after the first of the year, I can't wait to see what the distributors have picked up to help our business, basically, to make it to where we can get things through Keystone, Meyer. You know, it's going to be a big. I mean, the bumpers, the roofs, the racks, and then you throw Overland. So back then, when the JKUs come out, Overland wasn't huge like it is now. I mean, people are making, you know, YouTube videos that I watch them all the time.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, and that's where I get a lot of good ideas. Is a lot of YouTube and seeing how people built their rigs and everything, going to SEMA and seeing the rig builds. You can go crazy with the stuff. Just all the knick-knack, all the little racks and brackets and things that carry roto packs, your propane tanks, your batteries, your jackery system. I mean, it's you know, it goes beyond.
Yeah.
You know, what I could fathom. Then I go to SEMA and just ruin my life. You know, I think my checkbook's gonna hate me.
No doubt.
So.
Yeah, but you know, what's drawn me to the Overland scene is the simplicity. It's still, there's so many components and accessories, but getting lost, as you like to say, and just you're simple. You got everything you need out there to self-sustain, and it's all a simple. I watch lots of Overland stuff as well. See a lot of people say they've come home after a long Overland trip and look at their house and see how much crap they've got in their house that they don't need or use. So like the Overland scene, them going and spending time out in nature, living simple, getting lost, has made them come home and say, man, we got way too much crap that we don't even use here.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so
yeah.
It's cool to see that whole vibe. And with our showroom next door, the revamp for it's going to really push that Overland style and theme there too. So that's going to be really cool. And it's just going to be another way we can intertwine ways to be unique and custom, because there's nothing wrong with a stock F-150 or a stock Bronco. We're okay with the stock vehicles, aren't we, Thomas?
Oh yeah,
to an extent, but we both know that custom's better than stock.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's not an argument there. Custom's always better than stock, but the Overland's theme is another way to get out of the rat race and just go spend some time out in nature and really just try to take in all of God's creation and just spend time out in the beautiful nature. That's what we all need, more of that.
Oh yeah, there was one Overland vendor out there that had a fully built JT Gladiator with rooftop tent, everything. It was beautiful, and on the side of his bed it said, "Escape civilization and wake up in the wild." Probably the coolest saying that I've ever seen.
Perfect. Yep. So we got pulled up now pictures of your Ranger, and I know that you almost bought another Jeep, right? Before deciding to go with this, you almost were back in on a Jeep.
Yep.
And really, it was a very strategic move in you going with that, because we've shown people, Jeep segments and Overland type ways to do your Jeep, but the market hadn't seen nothing quite like this. And for it to be yours here with us, and then the fact that you off-road in it a lot is even more huge, and spend time in it. So big props to you on that. Tell us a little bit about it. We got starting at the front. We're Iconic Silver, right?
Oh yes.
And you got the sport package,
the black
appearance package.
Yep.
So you pretty much got everything taken care of. No chrome on there. It's already in a good, clean manner. Tell us about, I guess you're on a Fab Tech. Tell us about your lift, wheel, and tire.
I went with the Fab Tech 3.5-inch upper control arm kit. But with my overlanding, I also had to add the 1-inch BDS shackle on the rear for all my equipment, like my totes and everything. I keep my camping gear in, because it got a little bit too low in the rear where I was, hitting the bump stops in extreme articulation circumstances.
You can see right there, though, it's sitting money now, though.
Oh yeah, it's really good. And then I did the Fab Tech rock sliders, which help out a lot, give me a little bit more clearance. I've used those a couple of times. The roof rack, I just put small things on it, but the overall build, I wanted to make it simple. I've got a rear canopy that comes out the back. When I got the tailgate down, I can, for cooking if it's raining. Of course, the rooftop tent has its own awning and everything. And then I've really got everything down to a 3-tote system to put in the back of the Ranger. I got 3 totes that I load up with a cooler, and I could go stay for days wherever I want to. And a small generator inverter that I run. It's, I think it runs at medium load, 16 hours on 1 gallon of gas. So I was going to do the Jackery solar system, but every now and then you don't plan on riding for a whole day, and then next thing you know, your Jackery's not fully charged, and if it's cold out, then your ceramic heater doesn't work, or you ain't got the blanket working. So I thought that, a simple generator inverter would work out best for me. But the bumper on the back is brand new. We were off-roading one night and had my parking sensors off and backed into a stump that I didn't pick up on the camera. Yeah, that was great. But I needed to change anyways. The stock bumpers are real flimsy. And I did go with the fuel wheels, 33-inch Patagonias, which are a great tire for around town, highway speeds. You get a little bit of shimmy to them, but off-road, they are amazing. Those are E-load range tires, and I've actually loaded those things down to 13 PSI to run off-road.
Perfect.
So get a good footprint from when you're off-roading. But all in all, it's a fun truck. I've had a lot of trucks. This is probably my favorite. If I do get rid of this truck, it's going to be for the Ranger Raptor. I'm going to do it the same way. Lift it, do the overland, the whole thing, so I can keep doing what I'm doing with overlanding. But I'll probably stay in the Ranger for a good minute, only because I've really, it's hard to say this, but I've really enjoyed this truck. And the capability of this truck is, when I go off-roading with these Jeep guys and stuff, they're like, there's no way that Ranger just went up that hill. You can ask a lot of people here, they see me, and they're like, that Ranger just goes. I got pinstripes down both sides to prove it, but if I build it, I use it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, it looks phenomenal, and then just seeing and hearing of how well it does off-road is great, because it's not the norm. You don't see as many Rangers, and I think the very first time you went and wheeled in a Ranger was a rental, was the white?
It was a rental fleet. It was
Yep.
white,
But
I didn't do it bad. I went up to we went to Cassius Valley, forged some river crossings, and then we went to Old Bucktown to the top of Nimblewheel Gap, and that thing was. I was super impressed. I mean, because the Bronco is based off of the Ranger platform for the most part. It's not the same, but it is based off that platform, which really, because I kind of need a truck. I can't live without a truck, so I needed something that could do both, and I thought that kind of solved the issue. And everybody had Toyotas, and I wanted to do something different. Like when we went to SEMA, there was 2 Rangers at SEMA.
Yes,
just 2.
Yeah, I know.
But there was Toyota. I mean, everywhere you looked, there was a Tacoma or Tundra,
yep.
Or a 4Runner. And it's so funny. We go out usually every weekend trail riding, and I've passed so many people that were in Toyotas and 4Runners, and they couldn't believe that was a Ranger. I mean, just it's. I like the attention it gets. Trust me, it's great, but it's a good selling point too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because it's important. It's important to me that we're trying to touch all of our different customer segments. If we just focused on Jeep, we'd be missing out on so much other stuff. If we just focused on F-150, we'd be missing out on everything else. So you really have opened up a lot of light to the Ranger, and because it had a bad thought process even for me on how off-road capable it really was, because I haven't had much experience or saw much of it. So for you to enlighten everybody on that, it's cool. So shout out to the Ford Ranger.
Yeah. The Australian guys,
yes,
beat these
they
things.
beat them up.
Oh my gosh, it's horrible.
Yep.
But that's how, when I saw some of that, I was like, okay, if this Ranger can take that in Australia, and they put those through the grind, and I put mine through a grind. I mean, I'll put it where I need to go and get back. So future plans. Obviously, I need a good recovery. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do about the front bumper. Whether I'm going to replace the whole front bumper or just do the hidden winch. I need a recovery system that keeps me from doing some things I want to do. But I don't know. I'm still thinking about maybe doing the 6-inch BDS coilover kit on it and running 35s to get my angles on my drive shafts and tie rod ends where they're not so extreme.
Yeah.
Because it's been in binds where I could feel it. It was close to popping an axle, and I don't like that feeling.
No.
Because it's not easy to change on the trail.
No,
not on that thing.
Not at all. What we understand that not everyone likes adding accessories to their vehicle at all. We have a lot of people that buy stuff every day from here that have no desire to even put a WeatherTech format in there. We get that. Then there's segments of people that want a little bit of accessories, but then you got people like me and Thomas that we love accessories and we are, I guess, never satisfied. There's always something else we could do to improve, or there's always something I feel like that me and you're always thinking about. If I'd love to have this. I think this would be a good addition. This would be cool, So that's I guess that's a curse in itself that we're that way. But we know a lot of our listeners are that way too. So we love that y'all are checking us out and watching everything that we do here, because a lot of y'all like cool stuff just like we do. You like the customization aspect of it, but we're just telling you that we get and appreciate all of our customers, whether you're into accessory stuff or not. We're down with all of it. Tell me and you do so much riding up in North Georgia. Tell some of our listeners maybe your top 3 to 5 places that you like to go, roads and or locations. Tell me, if you had a Sunday afternoon to go the next 3 Sundays, and that was going to be all you could do, where would you go? If you had the next 3 weekends, you were able to go ride somewhere, like where would be your destination?
Probably Northeast Georgia is probably one of my favorites. Is Northeast Georgia. It's closer to here, so it's easier to get to. The other thing would be probably Charlie's Creek, Sarah's Creek, Earl's Ford. Those are fun. But what I like, my personal opinion, what I really like to do in this, I like to go find new places. Open up a map. Go look, especially this time of year because it's deer season. So all the Forest Service roads, the gates are open. So you can really do some exploring. Like last weekend, we was on some road called Silly Cook Mountain. That turned into a pig trail real quick. And then we seen a bunch of cool stuff. We've been on a bunch of different roads in National Forest, but National Forest roads leads to a lot of new things.
Yes.
Especially this time of year.
Yes.
if I had a choice, I like Northeast Georgia, that area. You know, I think probably after the first of the year, we're going to go do the Big Frog Loop up in the Cohutta. That's a 2-day, 77-mile loop up in the Cohutta. Goes into Tennessee and back around. We did do some riding up in North Carolina, which was real fun. The goat trail, the famous goat trail, Hurricane Creek. We plan on riding that hopefully in January. But just getting out and seeing new things is what's fun. Me and my wife's dream is to go out west. Yes. You know, work our way out to California, you know, and do Moab. And
it's just so much more vast out there, you know.
Oh, it's different. It's a whole different world.
Yeah.
You know, like when we were at SEMA, I was talking to the guys about overland and everything, and these guys overland 3/4-ton trucks, which, you know, the Carly, you know, it's known out there because they're extreme. Yeah. They're like King Shocks and stuff. You know, they're extreme. They jump these 3/4-ton trucks, dude.
Crazy.
I mean, it's crazy. And I was laughing. The guy's like, well, what's so funny? I was like, well, that truck would never go anywhere I go on the East Coast.
Wouldn't fit.
It wouldn't fit. It just, not that it wouldn't make it, it just wouldn't fit.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit.
But it was funny to see the two extremes. Out here, we need something mid-sized that can get around tight places. Out there, their overlands are huge.
Yeah.
You know, big, tall, wide, you know, and they just go out in the desert and go, which is neat. That's the extreme I want to see.
Yeah, I would truly love to experience that too. That would be unique. Yeah, even there was a couple times I didn't even couldn't come with y'all because I was concerned the Raptor was going to be too wide, too big, too long, all the above. You know?
I thought about a Raptor, and I was like,
it would limit you though. Where you go, I know where you ride at. It would limit you. You know?
Yeah. I mean, even some of those trails, the Ranger's too wide.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, but yeah, the Raptor would be a great out west one.
Yeah, it would.
Big time.
That's really kind of that vehicle's kind of made to kind of be like the Baja 1000 type.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, my dad he lives in Toccoa, and so he lives right there at Russell WMA.
Yeah.
And they've got the gates open. He takes his squirrel hunting dogs, and they'll go, you know, ride around, do squirrel hunting, or just let the dogs run on the roads and stuff. And so he's always seeing people just dirt road riding or whatever. So now they've got things open. Like he sees, you know, people like you riding and having fun, camping, hanging out. Sees a lot of it.
So Lake Russell, the WMA, we spent 8 hours up there one day riding roads.
You can, yeah.
I mean,
it's vast, it's big,
and it's big, but it's just all intertwined.
Yep.
You know, it's beautiful up there too.
It's real pretty.
It's really nice.
Very, very mountainous.
And it's a short getaway.
Yeah, it's not far.
I mean, it's like what, an hour from
Yeah,
here?
it's not far at all.
It's an easy short getaway. It's beautiful. You get a little bit of the mountains. You know,
He literally lives like a mile or two from the entrance.
That place is beautiful.
Yeah, he don't live far at all. Tell us, what about what do you expect to be trending for I can't believe that you're almost been here a year, Thomas.
March. Yeah.
It's crazy though, dude. It's gone by fast.
I know. It's every day.
Yeah.
We're wide open every day.
We're so busy. I guess for the listeners too, if you're trying to get in touch with Thomas and he don't get back to you in 30 minutes or whatever, there's a reason. It's not because he don't want to, it's because he's got a laundry list. I mean, sometimes, you know, even me, I get consumed with quotes. Like sometimes if I get a customer wanting a quote, man, it's gonna be 24 hours, man.
So I just had a customer that,
you know,
right up here. George said he got a customer and he saw us sitting in here. He's like, I'll just tell him to call me.
Yeah. Man, so we've got so much on our minds, so much we want to achieve with not enough time. There's not enough time in the day, and the days just fly by.
It feels like you could just, you know, I don't never look at the clock. You look down, it's after 6.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
sometimes
man.
7, you're like, well, I guess I need to go home. And my wife's gotten used to it now.
Yeah.
You know, before, when I took that little break, I was always home at 5:30, you know.
Yeah.
Easy and convenient. When I started back at dealership, she goes, you can be like this every day? I was like, it's dealership life, baby. I mean, you got to understand. I mean, we work long hours.
Yeah.
You know, we work hard. But it's all a part of it because you want to try to help as many people as you can. Yeah. You know, and it's never ending.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, like we have fun. We're enjoy what we do, but that doesn't mean like the slogan, love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. I mean, I believe in that to an extent because there's still things that we have to do in our day-to-day jobs here that's tough. I mean, there's still stuff that we don't necessarily want to do that we have to do to be fruitful, to make sure the customer's taken care of, to make sure we're maximizing opportunity. So we love what we do, but we're wide open all the time. But it's a blessing in itself.
Oh, it is.
That's a blessing because how great the dealership is sets the stage for how great we can be. Because if we were at a dealership that didn't believe in what we were trying to do or didn't have a very successful sales department, then we wouldn't have as many opportunities. We get a lot of swings. We get a lot of opportunities. That's the thing. That's the biggest thing to me that I've seen that kind of is the separator, because we have so much experience with every segment of vehicle that we sell, plus other makes that people bring us. We get so many opportunities, but especially on the Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram products. We know what tire size fits. We know what offset works. We know what kits were preferred. We know all this stuff because we done 15 of them this month.
Oh yeah.
And some places may not do, but 15 in every couple of years.
Yeah.
I guess,
When you make it a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a convenience thing.
It really is.
I mean, if you can get here and buy your truck, upfit your truck, and finance it, I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Boom. Yes. Yeah.
What's a few more dollars in the payment when I can have a nice truck?
Exactly.
Not saying the stock one isn't nice like before.
Yep.
But if I can modify it a little bit,
yeah,
and it rolls my payment up another $20 a month,
right,
so be it.
Yeah. And the accessory side is always the scapegoat. Oh man, this truck was $115,000. It was $25,000 in accessories. Well, the problem is not our $25,000 in accessories. It's that the trucks are so expensive these days, man.
Oh gosh.
Everything across the board to me is so extremely expensive, or it just costs a lot. I mean, an F-150 Lariat that's now mid to upper 60s. I can remember 10, 12 years ago, that was a $47,000 truck.
Oh, in 2001, we saw a Super Duty for $42,000. We were floored.
Yeah.
And now, for me to send an email to a gentleman on a Super Duty that his truck is $142,000, I paid less than that for my house.
Yeah.
And it floors me of how extreme it is.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I never in my life I thought that I would see a 6-figure F-150.
It's crazy.
Oh,
and but y'all I want all the listeners to understand that Thomas and I and the staff, we're not numb to that. We don't look at that and just begrudge it or push it off. We understand that this stuff. I mean, the vehicle itself is expensive.
Oh yeah.
Much less doing everything else. But like all we can do is just try to offer the best value and making sure that the customer's getting the best components that they're wanting to do out of what they're trying to achieve, that we give them the best components in that segment to make sure that we know that they're going to be satisfied. We don't want to give somebody a cheap lift just to appease a certain price point. We want to make sure that we're confident in what we're giving them. We know is going to be good on the trail, good on the highway.
Oh yeah.
And all the above.
And I'm always willing to work. I mean, it's not about the money.
Yeah.
It's about doing something for the customer that they can afford. It, to a certain point. I looked at some of my notes from 4 years ago on lift kits and tires and wheels that I did. And when I came back to work here, the first one that I built a quote on, I looked around, I was like, is this for real? I remember back when this was like half this price.
Yes.
So it's not, that we're marking it up. It's the fact that the cost of everything has just gone so high.
Yeah.
In 4 years. Like I said, I looked back at my notes and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And now it's like, you just kind of roll with it and move with it. And you do what you can to help the customer, to help them be able to get it.
Right.
You don't want to, nobody's price gouging.
Yeah.
You just want to make it to where they can get to it. But with the prices of everything now, it's hard to do.
And Akins didn't get to be the reputation and size by taking advantage of customers.
Not at all.
So what I'm saying is people point their finger at me, at us, at Wild Willies when they see the price points now, but it's like, y'all, you gotta understand, like, go to the grocery store. I'm not the grocery shopper in the house, but when the wife comes home with, stuff in two hands and it's $300, I'm like, honey.
We used to fill it the back of the car with $300.
Everything,
now
man.
I get like 6 or 7 bags.
Yeah,
everything.
Everything.
It's everything.
It is. But our experience, I know you'll reiterate this as well as me, but like you buy this truck, you buy F-150, not leveled, whatever, versus a leveled one that just has that stance better, feels better, bigger tire sidewall, improved tire longevity. A few things to a truck can make you see and appreciate the value even more so than buying a stock truck. You spend $4 or $5 grand, level it tires, just the basic stuff. I feel like that most of our customers appreciate the truck that much more by having it more unique to them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Just something a little different.
Yeah, something a little different.
We see trucks every day.
Yeah.
But the one that has a leveling kit and tires and wheels, we look at it more. That's just, it's what we see.
Yep.
I can walk through a parking lot. Every time I go to the mall, I'm always looking.
Like
boom, there it is.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
And you can pick them out. It's so funny. My youngest son he loves cars and trucks, and he's the same way I am. The mindset, he's like, well, I don't know if I'd have done that truck, but it looks good.
Right.
It's always fun just to ride around and just pick them out.
It is.
Yep.
Really cool. So forecasting, I guess it's the end of the year coming up. Forecasting 2023. What do you think is going to be hot in the automotive industry or accessory industry? What do you think? You think is it the Maverick? Well, let's talk about the Maverick a little bit, Thomas.
I got that coming.
What you want to do to a Maverick, Thomas?
I have before we left for SEMA, I put an order in for a lowering kit. Yeah. So I've already let the sales managers know that the first black one we get that's not going to be spoken for, that's going to be ours, it's getting an H&S kit.
Got to.
And it's getting 22s. Yeah. It's going to be nice.
That's awesome.
Looking forward to that. The Maverick it's like the mini truck scene is coming back. If you notice at SEMA, there was a lot of Mavericks there that were worked on and done, whether it was lifted or lowered.
Yep.
But they started throwing those old school graphics on them, like mini trucks used to do. And I was like, if the mini truck scene comes back, it's like the Maverick will be the leader.
Yes.
It's a good looking truck.
It is.
And fuel efficient. And it's, I can't wait to do one.
Yeah. It actually has more interior space than the Ranger, even though overall size wise it's not as big. It's a spacious cabin they've got it laid out very nicely.
Well, my son's 6'4".
Yeah.
He fits in the backseat of the Ranger just fine.
Yeah.
And the Maverick has more room.
That's impressive.
Oh yeah, it's like a full size truck. But the Maverick, I'm super excited about it. I think as 23 comes to see where everything goes, economy wise. I'm not sure. It's all just a question to all of us. But the Maverick being a fuel efficient, good looking vehicle that you can customize, I think that's going to be a start of something new. I think if anybody ever gets the Rangers back in stock, you're going to see some more of that. And with the fuel efficiency of the full size trucks now, especially in the hybrids, the Power Boost models, it's going to be weird to see. I mean, not weird. I shouldn't say weird. It's a bad word to say, but it's going to be different next year. I think seeing how everything unravels. I should say.
Because the Maverick price point is very appealing.
Oh gosh,
very appealing, and not everybody needs a full size truck or wants to pay for a full size truck, as we mentioned how expensive they're getting now. So a Maverick, I think it's going to be a sweet spot vehicle along with the but even the Ranger to me is expensive.
Yes,
Ranger's gotten up there in price point. The Maverick they've put it in a nice segment, and seeing that Maverick at those couple Mavericks at SEMA reminded me of like the good old trucking magazine from back in the day.
Exactly.
Like that's what I would envision. Some of those graphics and stuff I saw on those was like, man, that's like a trucking magazine center folder cover.
Oh, it's really neat. Maybe not the dancing beds anymore.
Yeah.
We're over that. But about 2 months ago, me and my wife were on the trail. I was in the Ranger, and we were going to Cooper's Gap. I'll never forget it. Cooper's Gap. We were coming up the winding staircase, and this truck was coming up from the other side. And it was a Maverick, a lifted Maverick with a rooftop tent, off-road tires and wheels. And we were just both in awe, and we pull up, and I was like, hey, man. He's like, I love your Ranger. I was like, I love your Maverick. And we, I was like, all right, appreciate it. Drove off. And I looked at my wife, I was like, nobody got a picture.
Oh, man, dang it.
I was like, of all the times that we take pictures, that should have been it, because it was the most unique thing I've ever seen. You don't see that many. You're seeing more and more now, but a couple months ago you didn't see none.
Yeah.
But I think that in the affordability of being able to get into overlanding with a platform of a Maverick with a 2-inch kit, tires and wheels, can put people out, on the trails and get them going for a lot less than other rigs.
Yep.
It's just going to be cool to see. I can't wait to see all this.
Definitely. And I guess I want to challenge you primarily because you're so good at it and already doing it. I want to challenge us as a company to do more group rides and have more opportunities for the public to come too.
That is fun.
Because I think that just a lot of people would be into that. they just don't know where to start. They don't know where to go. They don't know if their ride can handle. So maybe we can start us I don't know. Maybe we can start us a YouTube channel talking about our experiences off-roading or something. We need to do something.
I've been wanting to do like a YouTube channel.
Yeah, we need to do something to show people, because everybody thinks, oh, let's go to this state to see this. Let's go do this. But there's so much glory in Georgia. There's so much good things, beautiful places to go. My wife was showing me a park in Northwest Georgia that I'd never heard about.
Cloudland Canyon?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
Never heard of it, never been there.
We have a mini Grand Canyon in South Georgia.
Yeah.
It's I can't remember the name of it, but we've been there, and it was like a little miniature Grand Canyon.
Yeah. So
in the middle of nowhere.
You don't have to travel out of state to go get lost. There's so much stuff to see in Georgia.
No, there's a lot to see in Georgia. No matter where you go, it's just neat to, but like I said earlier, open a map.
Yeah,
just go get lost. It's so much fun.
It really is.
But having a group ride would be a great. I just found out we got to keep it to 12 or less. The National Forest Rangers do not like 12 or more in a group. So, but if you keep it 12 or less, you pretty much do whatever you want to. You're not breaking any laws. You just riding as a group. And but yeah, there's so many places to go. That's not. You could take stock vehicles. Just to get out and go see. It's just more scenic than anything.
Yep.
It don't have to be about, the roughest trail.
No.
Is it going to make it through this? I mean, anybody can drive through a mud hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
But going out and seeing, just nature. I mean, springtime. Yeah. I got so many roads marked right now to go back to in springtime. It's going to be great.
Special. Really good. I challenge everyone that's watching too, that's not in Georgia. Maybe hit us up with your favorite riding place in your state. Let us know what your thoughts are. Do you overland? Do you go off-road? Do you get lost? Let us know in the comments what you think about that. So, does it feel like 51 minutes to you, Thomas?
Not really.
Not really.
It's like we just sat down.
What have we missed? What have we not covered yet that we need to cover?
I think we got most all of it.
Yeah. Well, going back to, I guess, the state of the automotive industry right now, we're seeing used car prices come back to us. We're seeing prices in general come back to us. People are, and this time of year, especially an election year, the sales in automotive industry and other industries too kind of pause a little bit. That they may not make that impulse decision as fast, or may not buy as high trim level. Maybe we just see certain trends in the industry. So yes, things are coming back with inventory being short. It's definitely hurt our lot customization ability because of obviously not having enough vehicles. We want a certain percentage of X vehicle to be allowed to do X amount custom, but the price points and then the discounts not being there. Instead of F-150, we were $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 off an F-150 to where a customer could justify our Covert or Everest Edition package more so with the big discount. Now discounts aren't as prevalent because of inventory availability, which is that's common sense. If numbers aren't there, you can't discount as much. So just that's been one thing that I've noticed is kind of a hindrance. But I hope as we see inventory getting back to normal, that we'll be able to expand and do more and more lot vehicle builds and get that going, because that's really been a huge thing that is big for us. We're like our own little mini dealership within a dealership with all of our custom packages. We take pride in having so many lot vehicles out here because convenience is big. If someone can pull up here and say, man, I'm here to look at an F-150, but they see a F-150 or they see a Bronco that's customized, it's like, that's the one. And it's ready to roll. They can see it, man, that is it. Mm-hmm. They'll be happier with that convenience factor a lot of times. So, but yeah, it's going to be challenging just to see how everything plays out moving forward. Is the inventory going to keep coming to us? What's the market going to do? What's the economy going to do? So you just know we're going to be here. Thomas and I, we're not going nowhere.
Oh no,
we're going to be right here, and we're going to be positive, and we're going to keep trying to give y'all guys as much value as we possibly can in everything that we do, day in and day out. So thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for more, and we got to get Thomas in here more often. We got to get Thomas. We need Thomas to review his Ranger. We need you to review your Ranger sometime. We got to get it on camera.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do that while you're overlanding or something, while you're riding. It's kind of boring out here. But maybe we'll get some action of Thomas overlanding more or off-roading some more and talking about his truck more.
If I can give me a GoPro that works.
Dude, is anybody having GoPro problems?
Please
anybody?
tell me. Please tell me you do.
The 11.
The 11.
The 11. We're filming. You're watching some of these shots of Thomas on the 10, and there's no problems there. Oh, that's the 9. The 9. Mm-hmm. So, are you having GoPro problems, or do you? What's your thoughts on the Insta360?
Yes.
Yes. What's your thoughts on that? But we're so blessed and thankful that y'all check out what we do. We're so blessed and thankful for what careers we have right now. So just know, y'all, if you want to see positive vibes from the automotive industry, this is a place to watch it. And if you want to be taken care of as far as all your vehicle needs, not just person in the vehicle, but the service standpoint, the body shop's great. Every department here, we got 60 acres here at Akins, and I mean, like, it fires me up knowing you can't go 200 miles an hour. So I want to go 200. Thomas likes to go fast. I want to go 200 miles an hour. I don't want to be in a vehicle that just goes 55. I want to be in a vehicle that goes 200. And if you're in a Ford Focus, you're not going 200. And most dealerships, from my experience, it's a generalization, are like a Ford Focus. And Akins Ford is more like a Ford GT.
Yes.
You know, it could go 200 real quick. So in life, y'all, if you want to go 200, this is an analogy. If you hadn't caught on, if you want to go fast, get in the proper vehicle to go fast. You can't go fast in something that just won't go fast. It's just physics. So Akins Ford and Willies, we going fast.
Oh yeah,
we going real fast. So y'all hang on and stay tuned for more. It's been a treat. Thomas, we're right at an hour. I think we're money. I think we're money. Thomas probably got a lot of missed calls. Phone's been on airplane mode, so we got to get back to it. But thanks for watching. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Let us know in the comments who you want to see us interview next. Thomas, thank you, dude.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Peace out, y'all.